Hey y'all, thank you for joining me for this Divine Masculine reading. If it's your first time joining me, my name is Keita, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. It's been a minute since I've done one of these readings, and unlike in times past, I don't really think I'm gonna pull no cards. However, there was a page from a book that I wanted to read. I done left the damn book in the other room. Hold on. It's really too early for me to be forgetting shit. But yeah, hope the message finds y'all well. If it did not find you well, I hope something is said in the message that leaves you well, and that life has been treating you kind. And if it has not been treating you kind, I hope something is said in the message that gives you a better understanding of where you are on your journey, giving you some solace, some peace, and maybe even some direction. So I've been receiving a lot of downloads. Saw a rainbow today. That's always beautiful and encouraging and inspiring and uplifting. And also a license plate that said Magic 2. And as many of you are on the journey to not only integrating your masculine and feminine energy within, but also coming into divine union with your external divine feminine energy, that spoke heavily towards the journey toward wholeness in that way. And so we talking about two magic beings coming together, but they gotta know their power in order to be a power couple, right? And so that has been the bulk of the journey. I don't even know where we left off months ago, because I haven't been doing these readings with where the divine masculine is on the journey, but I've gotten quite a few downloads about where the divine masculine is now. And so I'm going to be sharing what I have in my notes, and then I'm going to share with you, if I can remember the page to the damn page in the book, from Anatomy of the Spirit by Caroline Myss, the 7 stages of power and healing. It speaks heavily on the chakras, and one thing that has come to me about where the divine masculine collective is that all of your chakras are activated to some degree, and far more in balance, whether that's been something you've been intentional about or just by way of the healing work you've been doing on the journey in general. For many of the divine masculines, your chakras are, all of the main 7 are activated and better aligned as you are raising your vibration and making decisions that are in alignment with operating and embodying high vibrational energy. So that's dope. I'm gonna try to make it a point to touch on each of the chakras. And so what's been coming through to me is that in terms of the root chakra, the divine masculines have been doing some work to stabilize themselves in the physical by way of money matters and material things and safety, security, and stability in their 3D reality, but also having more value for internal security and stability and emotional security and stability, and giving more thought and intention and attention to what that looks and feels like. So that's one thing that is standing out about where the divine masculine is on the journey in terms of the root chakra. And for some of you, even ancestral work and healing has been taking place. So that's that. And then we have the sacral chakra, where more divine masculines are focused on sexual traumas, and the many ways that they have viewed sex, giving away their seed, their sexual energy, their chi, haphazardly sown their royal oats, so to speak, and having more value for who you all are giving your sexual energy to and what you're giving your sexual and creative energy to. So that's something that's coming up for divine masculines in terms of the sacral chakra. Also being more comfortable with intimacy, vulnerability, emotion, and being more passionate. Like, even if you were passionate before, it was from a more egoic space, but now as all of this work is being done to elevate and ascend, masculine energies are coming to divine masculines, because there's a difference. I always have to point out there's a difference between divine masculinity and masculinity. But divine masculines are finding more value in who they're intimate with and under what context. And then we have the solar plexus, which is receiving a lot of divine attention at this time. The divine, your ancestors, your spirit guides are really working overtime to help the divine masculines increase their life force energy, their vitality, their stamina, their confidence to step forward as divine masculines, leaders of the pack and not sheep, lone wolves, even to stand out and stand up on what it is that they know to be the truth for them and where they're being divinely led. So if that resonates for you, just know that that's a collective thing. It's not necessarily something that is specific to just your journey. Like, the collective of divine masculines are experiencing solar plexus upgrades, especially during the summer solstice and summer season, and the 8/8 Lion's Gate, which takes me to the next chakra, which is the heart chakra. Massive heart chakra awakenings, especially taking place during this Lion's Gate portal. The lion representing the heart chakra energy, and so that which has awakened you to divine love, and a deeper love, what it is to love, what it is to feel love, what it is to give love and receive love, and ultimately your connection with the divine and your expression of that by way of how you connect with other people is part of your heart chakra awakening. And so there's a massive awakening in that area, activating the heart chakra as well, so that you confidently make decisions from your heart space and not just logical, rational decisions. And then we have the throat chakra, which I'm experiencing some discomfort with right now, because a lot of you are being led to speak from your heart, speak your truth, express yourself in a myriad of ways, but especially vocally, being mindful of your words, who you giving your time and energy to in terms of communication, truthful communication. When you do speak, silence is a major theme as well. Many of you have been in hermit mode, doing your healing work, contemplating and reflecting on various aspects of your life and your being, and are now being called out of those that hermitage to come forth and show the world the you that has evolved and developed over this time, like what you've learned during your hermit mode. You know, being in hermit mode is all about being on a journey of self-discovery. So many of you are being called forth to share what it is that you've discovered on that journey of solitude and reflection and introspection. So in that way, your throat chakra is activated, and you're very much being led to speak your truth, and fuck who don't like it. So that's confronting some things, sharing your story, and also confessing some things. So that's the throat chakra. Then we have the third eye, seeing beyond the veil. For many of you, that third eye awakening has been long-standing. Like, you've been for a minute now seeing beyond the lies and deception, the illusion, whether it's illusion that you have cultivated in your life, or the illusion that societally has been provided, whether it be religious dogma or the patriarchy, or it's just a myriad of lies that we've been told. And people, especially divine masculines, are beginning to see beyond the veil in that way. Also better able to interpret and recognize signs and synchronicities, dreams, things of that nature, that is a part of your third eye activation or awakening. And then you have your crown chakra, where you're connecting with your ancestors and your spirit guides. You're connected telepathically with your divine feminine counterpart in ways, be it through dreams or feelings or song lyrics or whatever. Connecting also with spirit children. I am finding that for many of the those on the twin flame soulmate journey, divine union journey, you're being called into fatherhood or motherhood. For divine masculines, that would be fatherhood. For many of you, you've had the desire to have children, and for whatever reason that has not happened. And so seeing beyond the limitations that either you've set on yourself or other people have set for you, about being a father, whether it's age or circumstance or whatever. For some of you, you may not have ever had the desire to have a child, but you feel that strong calling in this season, not to have a father. Did I say to have a father? We all got a father. But to have a child. There's a strong pull in that direction in this season. And for many of you, to have sons, to do your part to conceive and shape, mold, and provide support for and be a safe container for other divine masculine energies that are coming into this world, who are waiting in another realm to be brought forth by your love and intention in your life. So that's all of the 7 main chakras, and how the divine masculine collective is awakening and aligning in that way. The Lion's Gate calling many of you into kingship, and to do the necessary to build your kingdom, to lay a strong foundation by which you will build your kingdom and evolve into the emperor with your empress and build an empire. And so we're needing to look at the bigger picture and not get caught up in the minute details of it all. So we talked a little bit about getting in vibrational alignment. For many of you, that's been doing your shadow work, and that shadow work has included confronting some emotions that have lied dormant or been suppressed, speaking your truth about some things from the past, or even that are currently taking place that need to be confronted or confessed about. And also, a lot of the divine masculines are being led to I'm losing my train of thought because I'm tired. I'm tired, but I have not done one of these readings in months, and today it was just like on my ass to do it, right? So I'm gonna push through. But being led to just create your own heaven on earth, whatever that looks like. And for some of you, that looks like overcoming some things that if you had it your way, you would have never confronted. You would have never faced. You would have never dredged up. This journey towards creating your own heaven on earth is been very cyclical. It's been very cyclical and spiraling, opposed to linear. It has not been a journey where you've been led from point A to point B to point C. You've had to circle back to some of your experiences, your ideologies, some of the pain that you've endured, your abandonment wounds, neglect, some of your philosophies and ways of life and your habits, addictions even. You've had to really circle back and give that the attention that it needs to heal and not just cope, because you now have a broader awareness of it and about it. And in order to move forward, you have to face it. So that's the thing. I know on my journey, in the beginning of my awakening, I had a dream that I was in a staircase, and that there were different wild felines species at the top of each flight of stairs. So like I'm in this dark stairwell with the door locked. I can't leave, and in order to get upstairs and out of the building, I gotta go up these stairs, which is symbolic of just the journey that I was on. And then at the top of the flight of stairs would be a panther, and I would build the courage to confront that and go. It wasn't even like scary, it was just, it's a fucking panther, right? So I would go up to that flight of stairs and feel some sense of celebration for having overcome that fear and gotten to where I was. But then now I gotta go face this lion at the top of this flight of stairs. I can't go back, because if I go back, I gotta face the panther again. And so I would go up and confront the lion, and then I'm celebrating that I made it to that point, and I gotta go up here to where this tiger is. And so for many of you, it's that, but along the journey, you're picking up traits and parts of yourself that you once left behind or neglected because of the trauma that you experienced, and it's all contributing to the activation and the health of those chakras that are balancing, and your you vibing higher, your vibration rising. Also, many of you are reconciling within yourself the effects of various traumatic experiences that you've experienced, so that they don't continue to cloud the journey ahead. You're reconciling some of those things so that as you are moving forward, seeing the bigger picture of what it is that God is calling you to do and be, that you don't take that trauma into those experiences with you and self-sabotage them. So you're alchemizing. You're taking those experiences that were once of lesser value, and you're alchemizing them into something that is of greater value. You're taking lead and you're turning it into gold. And so don't ever discount the work that you're doing on your journey, and let that be the battery in your back to keep doing it as you are so divinely led. Because the times that we're living in, like, it's just what's needed. You know what I'm saying? The divine feminine energy is rising, the patriarchy is falling, and that support and leadership of the divine masculine energies is so needed and appreciated. But honestly, y'all are not showing up in large numbers. And so the work that a lot of divine feminine energies are doing is to help move the needle in that way. Like for me, I would love to create space for specifically Black men to have a container for wellness and healing. But as a Black woman, I ain't got to, but I want to have Black men who are in that space wholeheartedly on the same wavelength and with the same goal, and that ain't easy to find, but it's gonna happen. I trust and believe that it's going to happen. But I have talked to some people in that regard. I just don't know that those people are the missing piece to the puzzle, right? But in divine timing, all things occur as they should, and everything fits the way that it should. So circling back to this journey being a coming together of masculine and feminine energy, internally and externally, as within, so without. There's a song that I heard in the sauna earlier today that really reminded me of the journey for the divine masculine collective. I'm using my phone, so I'm not able to read them or share it with you guys, but in the song, it's called Everything Right by Run E and Tank. And in that song, they talk about being optimistic about everything being right in the situation, opposed to looking at everything that's wrong, and seeing the glass half empty instead of half full, which speaks to a shift amongst the divine masculine collective and your perspective and how you see where there's so many obstacles and imperfections, and instead having that solar plexus confidence that these are actually beneficial in some way, or seeing the light in the situation instead of just darkness, and letting that be the fuel that helps you to move forward. So check out the lyrics to that song. I'm gonna put it on a community board. I hate that I can't like go through it with a fine-tooth comb and we talk about it, but it's that song, and there's also I think it's called Home by Tank. The song's sexy as fuck, but that song and its lyrics speak to the passion and the consummating, so to speak, of these divine unions, and how else y'all gonna get that spirit baby that wants to come through your vessel. It's got to be some love making going on. And so I'm gonna put the lyrics or a video of the song so y'all can check that one out as well. I think that's everything, y'all. If I think of anything else, I'll just cut the camera on, come back down here. And because I'm doing a divine masculine reading, of course, at some point I'm going to do a divine feminine message as well. Oh, I forgot I was going to read a page from this book. And it's speaking specifically about the third chakra, which is the solar plexus. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to start. So along the way on your journey, for many of you, you've met people who embody, or at least one person who embodies an angelic frequency. Someone who you have recognized has been a helper along your journey, and has been an angel, so to speak. And in the chapter that I was led to read on the third chakra in this book, this lady talks about her experience with LSD. She said she had a strained relationship with her daughter, and because she resented her daughter for practicing Buddhism when she raised her Jewish. And the daughter finally came to her and was like telling her about how she came to Buddhism in the first place. And somehow they got to talking about drugs, and she told her mama she had done LSD before, and she brought her mama some, and her mama took LSD. And this is talking about the experience that she had with an angel. So I'm kind of starting in the middle of the story, but hopefully y'all will be able to like catch on to it. But she says, I said I'd never thought about it, and my angel said, let me show you what you look like to me. And then she pointed to my double, only my double was completely tied up in thousands of rubber bands. My angel said, that's how you look to me. Each one of those rubber bands is a fear that is controlling you. You have so many fears that you can never hear me trying to talk to you, to tell you that I've got everything under control. Then my angel said, here's a pair of scissors. Why don't you cut all those rubber bands and free yourself? And that's just what I did. I clipped every single one of them, and with each one I cut, I felt this unbelievable surge of energy come into my body. Then my angel said, now, don't you feel better? I told her that I felt lighter than air and happier than I had ever felt in my life. I couldn't stop laughing. My angel said, you're going to have to get back into your body now, but before you do, I have to show you something. She showed me the future, and I saw myself full of arthritis. She couldn't tell me why I would have to endure this condition, just that I would have to. But she said she would be with me every step of the way. Then she put me back into my body, and I told my daughter everything that happened. And both of us laughed almost continually for 2 months. She and I have been closer ever since that experience. When this arthritic condition began 10 years ago, I thought, oh well, this isn't being crippled. I was far more crippled when I could walk. I was always so afraid of being alone, of taking care of myself, that I wanted to keep my daughters near me so I would never have to take care of myself. But after that experience, I never felt afraid again. I believe that my physical condition is a way to remind me never to have fear. Now I talk to my angel every day, and I still laugh more each day now than I ever did before. I wish I could take Ruth with me wherever I go so she could tell her story to my workshop participants. To me, Ruth and her angel are twins. Her story represents the choice to believe that the non-physical world of divine energy has more authority than the physical world of form and matter. This choice caused what might have been a handicap gradually to become a source of inspiration. Her limitations became an asset. This is the influence of the Sephirot of Nezah and Had, our spiritual leads. So the influence of Sephirot of Nezah and Had is talking about the branches on the tree of life, which is part of the Kabbalah, which is like Jewish esoterics or mysticism. But the part that I just read is talking about having an encounter with an angel. And by having that encounter with an angel, someone is able to see where they once saw handicaps and limitations about their story and their narrative and different aspects of their life. They're now confident and see where it actually served them, and it helped them overcome fear and be more of an individual opposed to codependent in their life. So that's beautiful. And then it goes on to talk about enhancing inner power. We reorder our lives when we choose spirit over the illusions of physical circumstances. So all that, I ain't got the money, or this aspect of the narrative is not ideal, and that aspect of the narrative is not ideal. Like, when you have inner power, you know that you can overcome all of that shit. All of it is temporary, and a lot of it is just the illusion that your mind has, you have allowed your mind to create to keep you from taking the leap of faith that you're being led to take. With each choice we make, we either become more involved in the illusory physical world, or we invest energy into the power of spirit. Each of the 7 chakras represents a different version or manifestation of this one essential lesson. Each time we choose to enhance our internal power, we limit the authority of the physical world over our lives, bodies, health, minds, and spirits. From an energy point of view, every choice that enhances our spirit strengthens our energy field. Again, y'all are raising your vibration and strengthening your energy field. So keep doing the work that you're doing, but also don't stop there. Continue to take those leaps of faith that you're being led to take. And the stronger our energy field, the fewer our connections to negative people and experiences. For a lot of you as divine masculines, you may be led to leave some relationships behind, some environments behind that no longer align with you. Just know that that's a part of the journey, and that which you're leaving behind, God is going to give you double for your trouble. You're just creating space for better quality experiences. No matter how long you may have held on to those things or those people, it's going to be well worth your while and the wait to separate yourself from that which no longer serves you. I'm gonna stop there. If y'all have any questions or comments, feel free to email me or leave them down in the comment box below. If you would like a personal reading, feel free to email me to book, or you can book via my Etsy store. I will put the link down in the description box. But yeah, y'all, until next time, peace.